far. I'm just in here cleaning my studio just to start today. So I figured I'd jump on here and see how everybody's going. You're gonna see me just going around fixing and cleaning up everything. So just bear with me. Nothing too exciting, but hopefully you enjoy whatever. Alright, so first things first, I'll get that. I don't have a ladder that goes up, so I bring a painter's ladder. It's so messy right now for me personally that I have to get all this stuff out of the way before I start creating. Forgive me for a second. I have so much stuff going on. It's crazy. And I'm a firm believer that if you have stuff going on, if you have your business or anything in life, it's always best to clean. Clean before you do anything. I've never been big on just starting a project without cleaning. Good morning, whoever's joining in. So just want to say good morning to you. But yeah, I'm just cleaning up, getting everything ready for today. I had to put another light on here, so if you're watching, drop from wherever you're watching from. I'm just gonna go back and forth because sometimes people are on here, sometimes they're not. So if you are, drop a comment and let me know where you're watching from. So today's Wednesday, another beautiful day. So I like to get all this stuff organized. So I got a lot of stuff to do today. We got brand deals I gotta work on. I have some more galleries for clients. So I'm gonna get on those, get those done. I got this backwards, See, I'm already starting off wrong. What did I do? Okay, I see. Okay. Well, I guess we're gonna go this way. I've had to rig every single thing up. I'm going to be doing that video that I talked about, a DIY build that I'm working on to attach all my microphones to. And I don't know. I'm going to try to get that done this week. Maybe next week. I'm not really in a big rush. I know it's going to take a lot to do. And I gotta check my commitments and make sure I can do everything. So I'm just getting everything ready in here. It's a big mess. I hate starting. I hate waking up and doing something if it's all messy. It looks like a little too bright in here. I'm gonna turn this off. This is the softbox I use. Some people think it might be too much to use on a video, but I have a key light, and then I have the face light, and then I have these two lights. If you watch my videos, they're pink and blue to give that an offset color. So, but how's everybody doing today on Wednesday? I went to the gym this morning and worked out early. Trying to keep that commitment for working out. It's hard. The older you get, the harder it is. Especially if you run your own business. So if you run your own business, let me know as well. Sorry, this video is not going to be fascinating. I'm just going to be sweeping, cleaning. But like I said, I figured I'd come on here and just share my world. We got a lot of different things just everywhere. We got so many brand deals that I'm working through. So I got tools everywhere, I got tape everywhere, just different things, and I'm trying to sort that out. This is our main studio room. I got another little storage area over here that I use to keep all my ladders and my soft boxes and stuff like that. So. But yeah, it's a mess today. That's for sure. I said, you know what, I'm gonna clean it today because I've been recording, but I just don't like all this mess everywhere. So I said, you know what, clean start today. Let's just clean up everything. Sweep, clean the floors. It's been raining a lot lately. If you're in DFW, a lot of raindrops fell, which is good because we put some sawgrass down, and that sawgrass is just tearing up all that rain. So that's pretty good. Usually when we put the sawgrass down, it'll fry up with the summer sun. So. If you're looking for like lights, I know that a lot of people sell this stuff on TikTok, but you can't beat the Husky lights. These are the best. These are the original ones. There are 3 lights here. I'm not trying to sell because I don't even think they sell them anymore. I got them one Christmas and I had to go to different multiple locations because I just fell in love with them. So I bought like, I think 6 of these. Yeah. Put all my stuff up. You're gonna have to forgive me, like I said, it got real dirty in here. So. This studio, I know it's not perfect, but it's mine. I don't have to pay any rent on it, you know? And it's a work in progress. When you own something, it's different. When you build something, it's different because you build it to how you like it. And everything on this build was done to my taste and, you know, to my specs and what I wanted out of the studio. It's not the best looking studio, or whatever the case is, but it's mine. We have some products that I can do some evaluations or whatever they call it, the brands. I've been testing out 2 of my biggest brands that I'm working on. They're cameras. So their review is taking a little bit longer because we've had to use them on location. So I've been testing them and I want to give them a fair review, if that makes sense. I don't like to review anything and say, hey, it's great, when it's really not. So I've been testing these 2 cameras. And I'll release that when I'm done with it. So, but I could have just done it quick. And actually, there's other videos from other people that do evaluations or reviews. I don't know what you call it, but reviews of brands. And I could have been like, hey, you know what? Let's just use what they did. But I don't know. To me, that's chop loss. It's not really be giving a fair, honest review of product. I know some people do that. I know some people grab so many different types of brand deals and just do whatever, but I'm just not that way. It's funny, like I said, we do photography and video, and we got thousands. And I'm not bragging. When you own your own photography company and video company, you acquire a certain amount of equipment. And we got tons of it. But for these videos, I just recorded my cell phone because it's easier. It's not so polished. I don't need to really do a lot on there. I can if I want, But since I'm already so backed up and so busy already, if I was to do that, it would just take away from other things. And I don't want to take away from anything else while I'm trying to add to my plate, if that makes sense. I'm trying to do more on YouTube. I'm doing lives, I'm doing videos, I'm doing shorts, I'm doing semi-edited videos, but I don't want to take from our bread and butter because I want to try to add more, to our take. I don't know if that makes sense. If it makes sense to you, drop a comment. If it doesn't, then drop a comment too. But yeah, nothing special here, nothing really going on right now. Just sweeping and cleaning, trying to get this place a little bit cleaner. I find when you work in a clean space, you're just in a better mood, You feel better. You're not looking at trash and dirt everywhere, footprints and dust. You produce more because you feel better. I don't know, I think. And then plus I was in the Marine Corps and they always taught us to clean and to be presentable. And why not have your studio presentable? I know it looks messy, but it works for me. It might not work for others, but it does the job for me. This is where I put my cell phone on. If you don't have one of these, get it. Actually, you know what? This little stand is not even a light stand. This one here, look how durable this is. It's very durable. But this one is actually from my Husky lights. So you improvise. I don't know. So that works. So as you may know, I'm doing an 18-day countdown series to my 50th. So this year I'm going to be 50 years old. And every day we've been doing different videos. And like I said on those videos, I guess I'm being more passionate about them because there's things that I forgot, things that I've blacked out in life or whatever the case is. Let me turn off that light. That as you're doing these videos, it brings things back to life and you're like, oh my God, wow, dude, that happened. Or you look back at something and you're like, you know what, I didn't think that happened for this purpose. And then you realize, you know what, that thing that happened in life actually helped me to be a better person. If that makes sense. And like I always say on all my videos, everything that I post is for me first. It's not no personal dig or anything like that, or to make anybody feel bad or any less of a human or whatever the case is. It's for me, actually. It's reminders for me to be better. Damn, look at that spider. That's a big ass spider. The other day I had a bite on my leg and I'm like, what the hell? I thought I was suffering from some kind of skin disease or whatever the case is. But it wasn't. I guess it's just these spiders. My studio is an actual shed. Well, it appears to be like a shed. And we built it because of YouTube. And I wanted to do these channels, so. But like I said the other day, it's not pretty, It's not a beautiful studio, and the same way with that, my videos aren't pretty. And man, that light is bright. I don't even say nothing. It must be blowing people's faces off. Is it that light? Let's try it without it. Ooh, no, that's not gonna work. So my studio's not pretty. It's, I guess what people would say, ugly. But you gotta start ugly. You know, just start ugly, start scared. Like the video I dropped yesterday, it says, start ugly, start scared, just start. Sorry, I know I butchered that. But it's like this. This is not pretty, but it's mine. You know what I mean? I'll share a story. When I got out of the Marine Corps, I stayed in San Diego. And I've always loved old cars. I've always loved, I don't know if you recall a movie called Christine by Stephen King. And it featured a 1957 Plymouth. Well, when that movie came out, my passion for cars just took over. And when I got out of the Marine Corps, I saw this old, it looked like aqua and white, big boat of a car. And it was parked in this alleyway. And I would pass it every day. I'm like, look, that car is beautiful, man. And my friends, you know, that were walking with me, they're like, dude, that car is hideous. That car is ugly as hell. I'm like, dude, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. It just needs some love. It just needs someone to say, hey, you know what? Let me take care of you. I wonder, you know, I look kind of dark. Let me see if I could turn on one of these lights here. Maybe, ooh, now I look really scary. Let's see if that helps the lighting a little bit. Hey, oh, it did. It's yellowish, but oh my God, dude, that's bright as hell. Hold on. Like I said, these videos aren't going to be perfect. Okay, get in there. Here's the color sequence. That's yellow. Let's drop it down. How about that? There we go. Let's see if that makes a big difference. Okay, there, yeah. Look, see, now you can see me. Anyways, now I gotta figure out where. Okay, there it is. So as I was saying, I would pass this alleyway, and I saw it was a 1956 Mercury Montclair. It was a two-door coupe, but ugly as hell. I mean, the ugliest looking car. But it was so beautiful to me, you know? So I tried to find out who owns it, and I finally found the apartment that owns it. I mean, everything was just falling off. This car was like held by, I don't know, some kind of intergalactical space glue or whatever the case is. I mean, it looked like you could just touch it and then pff, dust. But I fell in love with it, you know, especially watching that car, that movie Christine. I'm like, you know what, I want that car. So I went over there. I didn't have a lot of money. I just got out of the Marine Corps. They just gave me my last check and whatever the case is. So I went and I knocked on the door, and it was this cholo guy, you know, like a big old cholo. Huge. I'm like, hey. Looked like he just came out of the joint. Anyways, he's like, what's up? I'm like, hey, is that your car? And he just bowed up real quick. He's like, yo, what's up, man? I'm like, you think you're gonna sell that car? I was like, do you want to buy some cookies? So I'm like, you know what? Do you think you want to sell that car? And he's like, no, man, chale, it's not for sale, whatever that. I said, okay, whatever. So, you know, I walked down defeated, and I just walked off. And days passed by, and it was down the street from the apartments that I lived on. I lived on Euclid Avenue in San Diego. I don't know if you know where that's at, if any of my California people. But it was on the corner of Euclid and El Cajon Boulevard. So I kept going every day. And then finally the guy came out. He's like, hey, man. He was with a bunch of group of people. I'm like, hello. He's like, you really want to buy this car? I'm like, yeah, I want to buy this car. He's like, okay, I'll sell it to you for $2,000. I'm like, okay. He's like, give me the money. I'm like, I don't have it. Because I was broke, you know, I just got out of the Marine Corps. I'm like, I don't have the money for the car. I was like, you know what, how about this? You keep the title and I'll give you payments. no sé cuánto, I don't know how much I can give you per, per week or whatever the case is, porque trabajo aquí y me pagan muy poquito, they pay me a little bit. I'm like, I'll pay you what I can, I promise, but you keep the note and then let me pay it. It might take me a year, 2 years, whatever the case is, but you have the car, you have the note, and then you just give me the receipts, I'll give you a money order. Back then we were doing money orders. So I kept paying it, and I would pass by and I would see the car there. I'm like, dude, it's so beautiful. And then one day I started knocking on the door. I'm like, hey, I know you own the car, but you think I could just start like maybe cleaning it as I'm paying? I still owed like $900 or whatever the case is, but he let me. And then I would go out there and clean it every day. I cleaned the tires. I would put pieces back on. They had pieces of the car inside the trunk and the back seat, and I would go and put everything on this car, clean it, and it would take time. And then eventually I paid it off, and I took ownership of the vehicle, and it didn't run, so we would push it from where it was stationed at, parked, to the apartment complex I lived at. And as we're pushing it, pieces were falling off this car, they were just falling on the floor, oil stains, and I was pushing this vehicle out, and I felt good, I felt like this is mine. As ugly as it is, as destroyed as it is, I can rebuild this. That was a great feeling. So I rebuilt it. I put a 72 motor in it, and I took the tranny out. It was a big old 301, I think. It was huge, humongous. I mean, the things were like built like a house. Like you can get tires and put it on the transmission and take off. So anyways, the point of that story is, yeah, this studio is not pretty at all, but it's mine. So that's my story for the day, I guess. But like I said yesterday, start ugly, start scared, just start. So anyways, I'm gonna shut this off. I think I'm gonna make a video with that story because I just recalled it. See, that's the beauty about YouTube and doing all this stuff, is as you're doing these little videos or whatever the case is, you remember things that otherwise you would have forgotten. So I appreciate you guys, and if you're not following, subscribe to the channel. This is day 11 of my 18-day countdown to my 50th. So I'm almost there. I've met every day of my, I guess my obligation. Well, not obligation, that's not even the right word. My commitment to myself to make these videos. And like I said, I'm falling in love with the process because I'm remembering these things. Like that story about the car, I totally forgot about that. That car was a beautiful 1956 Mercury Montclair, one owner, and it was that guy. I brought it back to life, and it shined for a while. Unfortunately, I had to sell it, life's circumstances, but the restoration and the transformation of that vehicle is kind of how I see my life, So I'll see you guys next time. Deuces.